Hey guys, it's been a little while since I posted an update. So here we go. I had a job offer. I turned it down, and honestly, I don't know if I made the right decision. But at the same time, I feel like I didn't really have a choice. So let's catch up and talk about what's been going on. If you watched my last video, you know that I had applied to only 3 districts, and I really stuck to that, saying I'm only going to apply to those 3 and I'm not going to apply anywhere else. Also, ignore the hair. It is so windy here. So windy. I had fully decided, this is it. I'm going to trust the process. I'm not going to overcomplicate things. And then I did a normal Melissa thing and I started overthinking everything. I think being out of the classroom for 5 years really adds this pressure of wanting to make the right decision the first time. And I had this moment where I was like, what if I'm limiting myself? What if there's something even better that I'm not even considering? So I ended up applying to another district that's really close to my house, and they have 14 elementary schools. And I told myself, this just gives me more options. That's all this is. But it turned into a lot more than that. So I applied, and within like a day or two, I got an email asking me to schedule an interview. And I remember staring at it like, oh, this is happening like a lot faster than I ever thought it was going to. I feel like I'm looking like in the wrong direction, and I promise I'm not. I'm recording on my phone, not my computer this time. I got a new phone, so let's hope the video quality is better. So I scheduled that interview for Wednesday, March 25th in the morning. So it's not even been a week from when I'm filming. Right now I'm recording, and it's Monday, March 30th. And then I thought I had time to just kind of prepare and kind of ease into this whole process, but then something else came up. So I have a friend who works in a really small district, and she told me her school was hiring, and they were hiring like every grade level. It's about 40 minutes away from me, so whenever she first told me about it, I hesitated and I kind of took my time. And then she sent me a message asking, hey, have you applied? Like, I told my principal to keep an eye out for you, but I also told him that it's kind of a long ways, so you might not. And since I was nervous about the drive, 40 minutes, I mean, that's not a short drive. That's every single day, back and forth, on top of everything else. But I had already kind of opened the door to applying to more places. So I thought, you know what? I'll just apply. Worst case, it's practice. And I was really going into this whole thing like, I'm not going to get this. Nobody's going to want somebody like that has to drive that far. So best case scenario was that I was surprised. So I applied on a Friday. And then Monday I got a phone call asking me to come in the very next day. In the voicemail that I got, or not voicemail, she asked me to call her back because I didn't answer because I was busy. But whenever I called her, she had said, oh yeah, we're trying to get our interviews done this week. So I thought, oh, okay, well, I can interview later on in the week. I already had plans for the next day, but she really wanted me to interview the very next day, which was Tuesday, March 24th. I hope you're able to like keep up with my timeline here. And I'm just going to be completely honest. Like, I went into that interview thinking, I'm not going to like this. This is going to be terrible. This is going to be just like the first job I ever had teaching. And then I got there and I actually really liked it. The principals were kind. The conversation just felt easy. And I had this moment where I was like, wait, why do I like this? Because I totally did not expect to at all. And even the drive did not feel as bad as I thought it might. So I left that interview feeling really, really conflicted. Then the next day was Wednesday, March 25th. And I had my other interview. And I thought it was going to be with one principal because on the interview like sign up form, it said just one principal's name, but it ended up being 3. And normally that would make me really nervous, but this felt totally different. They were genuinely kind people, which I mean, I guess you can fake it just to try and like get people to work for you. But this was not just like interview nice. This was actually like kind. It felt like a conversation. They did not drill me with questions like an interrogation. They just wanted to know about me, my experience, my classroom, how I handle things. And one of the questions that they asked was what I could bring to an already established team. And I talked about how organized I am, especially with my Google Drive. Everything has a place. Everything is color-coded. I have a dashboard in a Google Sheet to get to everything quickly. And one of them said, I need you to come clean up mine. And I just remember thinking, okay, that's a really good sign. I even said, I feel like I might be overly organized sometimes. And they said, that's not a bad thing. And I walked out of that interview feeling really good. Like the kind of good where you're replaying everything in your head all day long. And I mean, I'm still replaying everything in my head all day. The next day I sent some thank you emails and one of them responded and said, I did great. So of course that made me feel really good. And the other 2 didn't respond, which my brain is definitely overthinking a little bit, but I'm really not trying to read into it. So later that day, we're still on Wednesday, March 25th. Good grief. Sorry, I'm like moving us 2 months ahead. I was at my son's science fair. I spent most of the day there actually. And I got a call and I just knew. I didn't answer because I was helping with judging. And then I was walking around with him, but they called again. So when we got home, I called back and they offered me the job. And this is the first interview I had, so the one from Tuesday. And I just sat there kind of like, oh my gosh, this is real. I don't even know what grade level it would be, just somewhere between kindergarten and 3rd grade. And I asked if I could have until Monday, which is today, to decide. And they were so super kind about it. They said, you need to do what's best for your family. Just make your decision and we'll talk to you on Monday. And this is where everything got really hard. So I'm going to be a little vulnerable. I wish I could say I felt really excited and confident, but I didn't. I felt torn because on one hand, it's a job, it's security, and it's something I could say yes to right now. But on the other hand, whenever I looked at my life, my schedule, my kids, and everything going on right now, I just knew it wasn't going to work long term. Especially right now, I need to be close to home and I need to have flexibility. There are things going on that require me to be present in a way that a long commute just doesn't allow. So I didn't feel confident. I just felt like I can't say yes to this. And I think that's the hardest kind of decision to make. So I didn't walk away from that call feeling good. I walked away feeling like, I just hope I didn't mess this up. So here we are to today. I've officially turned it down. And I still haven't heard anything from anywhere else. So now I'm sitting here like, okay, what now? Part of me is like, you did the right thing. You thought about your kids, your life, your long-term situation. And another part of me is like, you just turned down a guaranteed job. And both of these things can be true at the same time. So right now, I don't have a job lined up. I turned one down and I'm waiting. And I don't know how this is going to turn out. I'm really, really hoping that I made the right decision. I really am. I'm trusting that it's going to work out the way it's supposed to, even if it doesn't feel like it right now. This is probably the most honest update I've shared so far. And I'll let you know what happens next. And I promise I'm going to make that video for you about my portfolio because, funny thing, my Wednesday interview didn't even I brought it with me, but because it was so conversational, like I didn't even open it. And one of the principals complimented my resume. So I will go over that in the next video too. And she also complimented that I brought a portfolio. She's like, wow, that shows us that you're really prepared. But I never even got a chance to open it. I was like, if you want to see it, we can go through it. But they were like, no, we talked to you. You did great. Whatever. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. And I hope to have another, hey, guess what? I got a job kind of a video ready for you soon. I have been doing some small things to like prepare now for when I do get another classroom, but we'll just see how it goes. Bye.